What's going on, everybody? It's Asa. Just wanted to drop a kind of product review, overview rather, of the USD VII. I've been a huge fan and kind of champion of this skate for about 3 years now, and it's been getting a lot of popularity over the last 6 months, and more so recently with Roman Abrat getting his pro model launch, which is awesome for him. You know, he's a great skater. This is a great skate. I think it's a great opportunity for him and USD to start kind of producing and pushing another skate out into the market. I felt for a long time this is easily the most underrated skate on the market. More recently, it's been getting a lot more coverage, which is great. That's kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to do this review or overview. I get a lot of questions, both personally and through the Facebook groups that that I hang out in about the skate. People wanting to know about it. A lot of misinformation out there, as well as confusion, mainly in the sizing. So that's also going to be one of the things I address in this to ensure that the skate gets an honest a go. So if someone gets a skate like, I hate it because it was way too big, that was, they ordered the wrong size, and that's not their fault. The conference has redone their entire sizing spectrum, which is, it's weird, but that's going to be one of the things I touch on. So this was originally developed from the USD Gricon, which was a skate that came out in a time where I was actually gone. I'd been out of the game for about 10 years, but came back about 7 years ago. One of the reasons I like the skate is I have a wider foot, so it accommodates that really well. That's how I came across it. I was looking for a skate to make like a hard shell park skate. I wanted to do a throne, but was advised against it because I do have a wider foot, and thrones are notoriously narrow. I ended up getting a pair that worked out. I beat the hell out of them to get them fit right, but now they're fucking great. So I really like the look of this skate. It's a very responsive skate. It's very supportive, which is a big thing I look for. I'm 36 years old, so safety and maintaining my body is number one, and I want to make sure I can keep doing this as long as I can. So a supportive skate is great for me. If you like a skate with a lot of flex, that's doable with this skate as well. The liner has to do a lot more with the flex of your skate than particularly with this shell, because it's very versatile. And so with that, we'll get into it. So USD VII shell, I have had 4 pairs. I currently keep 2 that I skate. This is one that I'm probably gonna end up selling, but the shell is just super simple, which is why I like it. Clean lines, no weird things on it. It's just super simple. Looks great. It's very adaptive to a variety of different types of shells, liners, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. But the main thing about it is an open style shell. So super simple, nothing in there. It's an open style shell. What that means is it accommodates a wider foot, but with it being more open, it actually is a great skate for downsizing. So if you're one of those people that is like right in between certain sizes, let's say you're like a 10.5, where you get the 10-11 shell, that's too big, but you want something that fits a little bit more firm, you can downsize with these using a downsized liner. Now with that, there is no shock absorption in these skates whatsoever at all. So if you're to downsize with a Fat Boy, which is pretty much the best downsize liner you can get aside from an Intuition, these also have 0 shock absorption. So putting these 2 things together, you're going to kill your heels if you jump off anything higher than 2 feet. That is remedied by USD generally in their Fat Boy model with a CIFCO or a USD shock absorber attached to a footbed that fits right in there, and then now you've got shock absorption. But as I mentioned, this is a full size shell, and it's a little bit more of an open size shell. So even if you stick this in there and fix the shock absorption, the issue you now have is you have too much space in between the shell. I can get my finger all up in there. So you can imagine how much space your toes have. Once this liner starts to heat up, it will feel like you're in boats. So even though this is the right size shell, etc., these are going to feel way too big. One of the things you can do to remedy that, and this is what I did when I skated, I skated USD VIIs with Fat Boys. You get an athletic insole. You'll excuse the condition of these. These have been in my work boots, but I use these exact same ones for my USD VIIs. The brand is Soft Sole, SOFSOLE. This is their athletic liner. This is kind of a double whammy. One, it gives you a good amount of shock protection. It's not at the same level of this, but it's pretty damn good. Unless you're going to be doing serious gaps, you'll be fine. So it gives you the cushion that you need. But if you look at the rest of the liner, this is just cardboard, barely. This will actually fill the shell out for you. So and it fits right in there. The bottom of the insoles are kind of sticky, so it fits right in there. And it cups the sides of the shell, so then you stick your Fat Boy in there. And it feels great. Now, same thing. I can't get my finger in there. Barely. Kind of sticking in there, but you want some space in the toe box. But that makes it fit nice and snug. You lace these up like a glove. It's awesome. I didn't keep skating this because I like a more supportive skate. These with a Fat Boy will give you a ludicrous amount of flex. Once you break that cuff in, which I'll touch on a little bit, that and a Fat Boy, it's awesome. But not as supportive as I wanted. I wanted a little bit of a tighter, supportive liner, and that's why I skate the Phoenix. So I'm going to follow my thing here so I don't have to redo this again. So the different liners you can get, USD does it with Fat Boy setup, which they will give you shock, but you'll want to get an insole. They actually make, Soft Sole makes a thinner profile one, which I would still suggest you can actually put that inside the Fat Boy. So replace the footbed, or figure it out, whatever works for you. That way you keep your shock absorption. The other option is with the USD Phoenix liner. This is a full liner, works like a jug or a blank liner or a crown. This is like a sneaker style, so the shock absorber is built into the back. Kind of stiffer, but once you break these in, they're great. High tongue, which is great. It allows you to kind of really bend into your cuffs. It also will protect, some people will, and I'll touch on this, because of the higher cuff, some people find that this dig into the side of their leg. When you have a softer liner like this, it can be kind of an issue. This ain't gonna happen. These are super comfortable, nice thick leather and padding on the side, zero issues whatsoever. I skate all my USD VIIs. I have Phoenix liners in. I actually have those in like 4 or 5 of my skates, my Thrones, my USD VIIs. These are the ones that I skate. It's a custom job I did on the Phoenix liner, so if anybody starts looking for blue tongue, it ain't gonna happen. So these line up right perfect with the pillows of the Phoenix, which is why I think this is pretty much the best liner for the skate besides a crown. I use the crowns in these just to test them out. They felt fucking amazing, but I want to keep the crowns in my sways. But if you want to, the Romans with the crown is going to be fucking amazing. So yeah, with the Phoenix liner, you're going to get a little bit more of a supportive, stiffer feeling initially, but once you break, hey baby, once you break these in, they're going to feel great. I can back farb and put my nuts on the back of my heel, no problem. I can top torque sole in these flat on a ledge, no issues, no wheel bite, no no issues like topside, not like fake topside. So if somebody's like, oh, these are too stiff, I can't top sole, you're top soling wrong. Not to be a dick, but these skates are super responsive. The cuffs come in a variety of different kind of setups, but generally it's a mild V cut just to give you a little space. My olives almost have 0 at all, but I like that for the street because it really allows me to it gives me a lot of support when I'm doing some of the more steezy top sides. And then on these, it's very mild, but as you can see again, it lines right up with the pillows. It's a great setup for that. So on to I guess the last bit would be the soles. So with the soles, they basically went to a one-piece design based off of the carbon sole, but they beefed it up. So Jesus Christ, it's thicker both this way and this way. So it's a thicker, wider, chunkier sole. You can see nice and fat. Plenty of sole space, but the one downfall, and it's not huge, but because of how much surface area there is, these soles tend to be a little slow. Physics 101, more surface area means more friction means you slide slower. So these soles are a little slower than other soles on the market. It's not debilitatingly slow, but it's noticeable when I go from like my classic Thrones with the wing soles to these. It's a noticeable difference, but it still does. I can still do any of the tricks that I need to. One of the things I planned on doing, you can try this, it's completely up to you, but I thought about, I put these on my carbons because they're that fucking good. They're really good. I'm gonna Dremel some speed holes to see if that remedies the situation. I think it should. A lot of sole plates now are coming with speed divots, like the sways. It's we're gonna give it a whirl, but otherwise the sole it's great. Big negative space, and they slide great, especially on concrete. So if you skate a lot of street, you will shred in these skates. They're really good. So I guess the overall review, it's a responsive skate. It's solid. It's great for a multitude of reasons, whether it's because you're looking for a skate because you have a wide foot, you want to downsize, you want something more supportive. This is a very versatile skate. The one trick is getting it sized right. As I talked with the different liners, Powerslide redid their whole sizing spectrum, so it gets a little wonky in the 8 to 11 range, and this is what I mean. If you're looking to buy the skate, follow the EU sizing, okay? The translation to US and UK is all fucking wonky right now. So I am a US 9, which is a EU 42. The original shells were an 8-9 or a 41-42. Then you had the 10-10.5, which went to 43-44, which can be considered a 10 or 11. Recently, they basically just bumped the sizes down. So instead of doing a 10-10.5, and instead of going 8-9, 10-10.5, 11+, they did 7-8, 9-10, and then 11+. The problem with this is I'm a size 9. If I bought these in a size 9, I would get a EU 43-44. Which is basically a 10-11 shell, but I'm a 9, which means I'm going to be fucking swimming in it, especially if you get it with a fat boy, like brutal. So follow the EUs, okay? I'm a EU 42, which is a 9. I have to buy all my current USD products as an 8. So that's the big thing. You've got to follow the EU sizing. Make sure you get that. Get yourself measured, find out what your EU sizing is so you can get the proper fit, because otherwise you'll end up with a skate that's like monstrously too big for you. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about the skates that I didn't cover, feel free to drop a comment in this YouTube video, or I'll be posting it in the various Facebook groups. Drop a comment there or a question. I'll gladly get back to you and answer any questions you have, so that I can help you make a more confident buying a purchase and enjoy the skate. So hopefully I'm able to help you out, and good luck and enjoy your USD 7. Deuces.